Good Place bench at Urban Future Conference 2024. And I am super excited because I just met a fellow Canadian here on the bench. Mark, can you tell us a bit about what brought you here to Urban Future? I'll pass you the mic.
Okay. Well, this is my third time attending the conference, and I know the organizers quite well, and I've done some work with them in the past. And because I have a journalist background, I came here looking for inspiring story ideas tied to urban renewal, because that's my focus area.
Cool. So, you're here. You're from originally, what was the city?
All over the map. I mean, we live in Ridgeway, which is part of Fort Erie in the Niagara region now, and before that we were in Collingwood, and before that we were in Brampton, and before that I was in Brantford, so.
We were basically neighbors back in the day.
Probably. I have lots of family in Hamilton too.
Yeah. Cool. So tell me, you're here, you're exploring the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Is there anything that really stands out to you in the Netherlands, which you believe might make it, a good place for people to live?
Come visit, yeah. Well, I mean, the biking is pretty obvious, right, in terms of having fewer cars on the road, and I think I see a growing interest in creating more livable spaces, and one of the articles I plan on writing is how Rotterdam has learned how to coexist with water and use it as an amenity. Everything from the beach that you're building, the new man-made beach that's designed to create a unique place to visit and for people to live around that beach area. That's Marion, what's it, Wilhelmina Platz, or Plein, in that area, right?
Yeah,
the biking's an obvious thing. The architecture is so unique. I mean, I guess, of course, it's unfortunate that much of the city was destroyed during the war, but it's quite interesting just to see how Rotterdam's gone in different phases and has evolved. The architecture has changed dramatically over the years, and the city's doing things now like a lot of different types of roofs. Like I was here last year, and I just actually came back from the shopping center around the corner where they created a whole art exhibit over the top of the shopping center, right? And they did it not only as a tourism attraction, but also because the department stores are surrounded by low-income housing that in the past have just looked down on the top of a flat shopping mall, and they've enlivened it with artwork and everything to make it something interesting for these people to look at. So there's the city's doing a lot of cool, creative, innovative things that I think a lot of cities elsewhere around the world can learn from.
Absolutely. So let's fly back a little bit back home.
Okay.
And I would love to hear from you what makes Niagara region a good place.
Well, where we moved, when we left Collingwood, we were about a block and a half, 2 blocks from the downtown, and because we got rid of our second car years ago, my wife basically said, yeah, like it or not, your bike is your car when she needs the car. So where we are now in Ridgeway, it's about a 6 or 7 minute bike ride into our little downtown area. It's an 18-minute walk, still not that big of a deal, right? And then we can walk to the nearest beach, which is about a 2-kilometer stretch of beach in about less than 10 minutes. And so we'll go there every day, and we'll go for a walk along the beach, and it's just like being in the Caribbean or something like that. It's just a beautiful beach. So we've got that, and then the Niagara area has a ton of wineries. They have a beautiful park system, right? And we like the fact where we are that we're just across the border from Buffalo, which it's a mid-sized city, but it's still got a great variety of restaurants and that sort of thing. And they've got a really, growing biking movement over there as well. So those are some of the reasons.
All great qualities. You're making me miss home a little bit.
Yeah, we just can't do the suburb thing. We can't Like I grew up in suburban Brampton before I went to university, and I could never do that again. So,
Great. Thank you so much for your time
okay.
and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you.